Well, I didn't want to do this stupid story, but
Yeah, you said it's out there, but I haven't heard anything. Sometimes I don't get a story until we get on our show.
mm-hmm.
So what happened?
You don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on in certain entertainment, sports, or politics sometimes until our show.
Right.
So,
all right, let me see if we unfroze now. See, it's always frozen. See, it's frozen on here. Let's see if we unfroze. Okay, we unfroze. Okay. Will Smith.
He's been in the news a lot lately.
It's either going to be with Jada or with
other people.
This time, remember we talked about a while ago this guy who was doing a book who was supposed to be his friend. Best friend or whatever he was. He was with him before he met Jada and all this other stuff. Okay. And remember he said Will changed after he got with Jada. He used to be really nice and gave it to everybody. And then he became, I guess, more guarded or whatever when he hooked up with Jada. And it seemed like he don't really like Jada because the whole Red Table thing or her book, her show and all this, and exposes his family.
Okay.
Well, this guy decided to write a book, and he did worse than anything that Jada could ever do. He decided he wanted to talk about allegations that he walked in on Will Smith and Duane Martin. You remember Duane Martin that was married to Tisha Campbell?
Tisha Campbell.
And he's also been in every picture and everything with Will friends. Will and Jada produced his show. One-on-one. No. Was it one-on? Whatever it was.
No, not one-on-one. All something.
Something. The one that
with
it was loosely based off of their life with the blended family type of thing.
Lisa
Ray. So Duane Martin has always been in Will Smith's life. And everybody was like, okay, well, that's his friend or whatever. Even when I told you when Duane and Tisha was losing their house or something, Will Smith gave him $1 million or something to save his house. Wow. So most people don't give a friend $1 million. So it's always been accusations about Will Smith and Duane Martin. No one never said anything wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
I never heard it, but yeah.
So this guy who's supposed to be Will's friend decides he wants to write a book and he wants to talk about how he walked in on Will and Duane being intimate with each other.
You're saying that he's supposed to be Will Smith's friend?
Yes.
What kind of friend does that?
Well, here's my thing with this whole story.
It's like Gail doing a book on
because every time we do a story, we always got to put our own thing in it, our own spin. Yeah. There's so many things wrong with this guy putting this in the book. It's a lose-lose situation, in my opinion. Whether he did it, whether the story is true or whether the story is not. The guy who puts it in the book is a loser. Now, let's talk about how he's a loser.
This is good gossip, good story.
That's your friend.
They don't care. He's already messed up that situation, that whole thing. So now he's trying to make money off of scandal, dirty, filth, any kind of thing he can get on somebody.
Now, this is what problem I have with this story. The first part, let's say that it's true. Okay? You're supposed to be his friend. Okay? Even if you're not friends with him anymore, you were friends with him at some point. So you're a scuzz bucket to feel like you the person that decided that you want to come out and tell everybody something. If he's not willing to tell everybody it, why are you? That's not your story to tell. Number two, why is it that the worst thing that a person can be in this in exposing people is gay?
Okay.
How come the worst thing that you couldn't come up with is you walked in, he was beating up some woman. You walked in, he was stealing money from his people. Will is not a good guy because he is scandal. He's a hustler. He hustles the people who work for him. He don't pay them what he's supposed to. All of these things. He's a drug dealer. He's a this, he's a that. He's a scum bucket. He beats women. All of this. The one thing that you decided that you wanted to put in your book that had to come after Will Smith was that supposedly he's gay.
I'm thinking on the other side of that, Will probably doesn't have a lot of stuff to put in there. So
you got to find something.
Dirt. But because I don't think it, now this is my opinion.
Yeah.
Because the dude we already know he is just
a scuzz bucket.
But because of the relationship, it's almost like coming out and saying Denzel is.
Yeah.
But I think because he's thinking it'll be a shocker because Duane and Will both were in a marriage with two women. So he's probably like putting it out there. For you guys, I just want y'all to know that
this is the worst thing in the world.
He on the down low. He really is this. Or Duane really is this.
Now, I do believe in outing certain people. Let me tell you who I believe you should out.
Yeah, who?
Ministers who get in the pulpit and preach against homosexuality. And they're a homosexual.
There you go. Okay.
I agree with outing them.
For a moment, you caught me. I was like, oh my God, this is not good to out anybody, but you got a point there.
Somebody who is in the public who always wants to say they so masculine and talk about gay people and dog out gay people and they got skeletons in their closet gay. Out them. So I'm not against outing. But when have you ever heard Will Smith say anything negative about anybody being gay?
Right.
Or being a preacher?
Or he and Duane, I think. I don't believe.
Or Duane. So what is your motive? And using it as a weapon, to me, I feel is you're the lowest of the lowest. As if there's some people who really are gay. So the worst thing you can say about somebody is that they're gay.
If you're putting it out there for that reason. Like, are you shunning him because he's part of the LGBTQ community? Yeah. Or are you shunning him because you may have had a falling out with him and you want people to know he has not always been honest with his relationship? Right. Not so much that he's part of the LGBTQ community, but more so leaning on he and Duane are trying to present themselves as this husband that married to their wives.
But they just said he has a crazy marriage, so it's not even presenting a good marriage and you want to out him.
Either way, it's wrong. I'm just saying, because he could even be gay.
Thank you. He seems gay to me.
He could
to be honest with you.
So
he seems gay to me. Between him and Will Smith, he seems more feminine. If that's how you're going to label what gay is.
And I'm thinking, let's just say for sake of argument, he is living an LGBTQ lifestyle. Well, his motive, other than not being a friend at all, trying to get some money and shun him, he's probably trying to show Will, he ain't even he part of the LGBTQ community too, and he trying to hide it. Well, why don't he just be real with it? Well, that kind of motive, which is still not good.
Jada Pinkett Smith, who's talked about everything in their life and revealed her entanglement and everything.
Reveal that?
She said, has said she and her husband Will are taking legal action against this nut job. For alleging that the actor had, you know what, with Duane Martin. Okay. Earlier this week, Brother Bilal, I guess he's Muslim now or whatever, Nation of Islam, whatever, claims to be Smith's friend of 40 years and former assistant. Smith's team Will Smith's team sent out a statement saying that Will Smith denies these allegations. Unequivocally says that they're false. Pinkett Smith further denied the allegations during an appearance on The Breakfast Club this morning. She says that she was coming out of the building. They said, what are you going to do? She says, we're taking legal action.
Okay, so for them to be moving towards taking legal action, then this must be a serious accusation.
She said it's one thing to have your opinion on someone.
Exactly.
Which is what we were saying. It's always been people making accusations about them. The same people who say Oprah and Gayle are gay.
I know.
How long have we been hearing about Oprah and Gayle? They travel together. They do everything together.
Just friends, like sisters.
But it's one thing for people to say, I think, I feel. I wonder, maybe.
Yeah.
They seem a little too close if you ask me.
Yeah.
Versus I walked in on Gayle and Oprah.
But you said that he wrote that in his book.
The guy wrote this in his book.
So it's not like he's just giving an opinion on a show or something.
Exactly.
There's actually written documentation that he is claiming that.
Exactly. So, that he walked in and saw this.
So he's allegedly still saying that in a book, so they can get him because he wrote it in a book.
He wrote it in a book. She says it's one thing to have your opinion on somebody versus making up a malicious story. Pinkett Smith said, calling the allegations ridiculous. Now, they asked her on the Breakfast Club, how is Will? Like, is he upset? And she said, y'all know how my husband is.
Are they just like, really?
He said, he laughing. He said, this is so stupid.
Yeah, it's probably that just crazy.
And she said, y'all know Will. And she said, the Will y'all see, that's really Will. He will take everything and turn it into a joke. Like,
that's how he hurt. That's how
he deals. Remember, he said that even when he was growing up with his father being abusive and stuff.
Yeah.
So he's not. You would think he would be throwing stuff up against the wall or whatever.
But he
probably thinks how I think. That's the worst thing you can find on me. You're using that as your thing.
Our friendship, my friendship with Duane. Really? You turning it into this.
And even to me, Will Smith seems like the type, let's just say for the sake of argument, he really was gay or whatever and did have a relationship with Duane.
Okay.
He could be saying that particular story is not true. You didn't walk in on me.
We was together at other opportunities where, I don't know.
So it don't matter.
For him to laugh it off is probably not true.
And also, too, it makes you feel like if you don't have a problem with people being gay, you shouldn't be upset about it. Because to you, it's not a weapon. Mm-hmm. Now, if you got a problem with it, you gonna be mad. Don't call me gay. Mm-hmm. To me, if somebody says gay to me, I don't care. Mm-hmm. They say gay about you because your hairstyle. We don't get on here every day.
It's not married. Yeah.
No, you don't.
I wonder if she's gay.
You don't get on here every day talk about how you're not gay,
right?
Because we don't care. That's probably how he feels,
and people gonna feel a certain way regardless.
Exactly.
Then that's probably why he responded the way she said he did. And if they're coming at him legally, then
I think
he's lying.
I think they need to sue
because you won't waste the legal time. You won't waste the what's the time when I say when you to seek legal action, right? You don't waste the court's time on some case that's stupid. Yeah. So okay, I agree. So we'll see how this pans out.
And here, fat boy, because he's fat. And he seems he could be gay. He would be the feminine gay guy. There's the masculine gay guy and the feminine gay guy.
That side of the relationship.
This friend who wrote this, Brother Balel or whatever his name is, he's the feminine gay guy, in my opinion. Okay. So fat boy, let's just say it is true. We still love Will Smith, you big dummy. You didn't do anything. You didn't change the way people feel about Will Smith. Just like when Queen Latifah finally came out, it doesn't change the way people feel about Queen Latifah.
Exactly. And people need to understand that. I remember Mama when we were talking about Robin Roberts' situation with her illness.
It doesn't change.
And that's when we found out that her partner was alongside of her with her illness.
Yeah, it doesn't change how we feel about Robin Roberts.
Fun-loving Robin that gives the news like I like. You
know? So now, if they were ministers, like I said, who was preaching the word of God and saying God doesn't want you to be, don't want you to be gay or whatever, and then you gay in real life, you darn right we're talking about
some
you.
Things that make you go. Even priests and other denominations, they have bothered little boys, violated them, and they're speaking, this and this, and I'm like, dude, come on, especially children.
Thank you.
Anybody. Even if you are part of the LGBT community.
These two grown men.
Not children.
Yeah.
Children are off limits.
That's whether you straight or gay.
Yes. Straight or gay, yeah.
Now, that, if he walked in and saw something like that,
with
I
a child.
Yeah, that I get.
But his friend Duane, we'll see. We'll see what Jada said they're going to take it to court and see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
And they may not. She just could be.
And I just found out, speaking of Jada, I was telling my sister, when you watch everybody's documentary, I was watching the documentary of Chris Cross. crisscross to make you jump.
All right.
The darker skinned guy, I didn't know he was allegedly was playing around with Jada Pinkett.
Oh, okay.
And they said Usher. So I'm sitting there going, wow, she has a type.
And then how many times
And
have we heard?
younger.
How many people have said about Usher?
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought he had an older woman type. So,
but it's not changing.
You know what? It makes sense because is she older than Usher? Is she older than Usher?
I don't know. At the
gotta
time,
be 50. She's 50 now, right?
Yeah, so she older than him.
Yeah, so he likes older women, so that would make sense. But I see now. Let's see where this goes. If it goes to court,
okay. Now, so we'll see where this goes. It may not go anywhere, but for just so you know, fat boy who decided to put the story out, it doesn't change the way we feel about Will Smith.
Yeah, he's trying to shame him.
If that is true, Will needs to just come out and say it. Whatever, not that, but that what he is, because then people can't hold that over on your head.
Exactly.
I never want anybody to be able to hold anything over on me and blackmail me.
As much as possible, you can be transparent.
Don't try to blackmail me.
That's true.
Because if you try to blackmail me, I'm going to tell on myself. Right. I already told you the story I always tell with our cousin, and I was blackmailing him. He took a drink somewhere, and I told him I'm going to tell his mom.
Tell your mom.
He was little. And he said, no, don't tell.
Do this.
And I said, well, then you could be my personal assistant, do everything I tell you for a whole day.
Yep.
And I made him do everything.
For a little bit.
And his little sister was even helping, and she didn't even have to.
She wasn't even part of the scandal.
She wasn't even being blackmailed. And then he was so distraught.
He got so tired of being blackmailed.
He was so tired of me telling him to do
Go ahead and tell her. I don't care.
He went and cried and told his mom what he did.
Telling myself.
And then she said she didn't even whoop him because he was already whipped the whole day for me.
That's his punishment was just being scared.
So never let anybody blackmail you on anything.
Yeah.
Always reveal yourself.
You should.
That's how I feel.
So no one can hold that over your head.
No one can hold it over your head.
People are slowly, because remember I told you 20, 30 years ago, people were not coming out.
Exactly. Well, now people are.
Now they are slowly but surely.
It's people who we've already were like, okay, where we supposed to go?
Time.
Puffy, Emerald said him and Puffy need just to come out. Puffy, if P. Diddy came out and said that, we would go, all right.
About time.
What's the next album you got coming out?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Nobody's gonna flinch, dude.
We already knew. Okay.
Even Oprah and Gail. Even though I don't believe it, but let's say for the sake of argument, they did. People would go, oh, now it makes sense.
Oh, okay.
And Stedman knows. Okay, well, that's fine then. Y'all got some crazy stuff going on.
Oh, wow.
Whatever. Okay. But I don't believe they are.
Let it be his truth. The fat boy you're saying.
People should out
fat boy. What's his name? You calling him
fat boy.
His supposedly friend in the past.
Whatever.
It's unfortunate that people are making money off of the information.
Stop outing people. I don't like that.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
And if your out is somebody's gay, that's the worst thing I can say about somebody.
But
get out of here.
Think about it this way. I'm not condoning it. But if you are on that dirty, filthy side to do that, that's how you're making money.
Yeah.
Because, people always come out with a book. I was waiting for Donald Trump's wife before she passed away to come out with a book.
She was.
Really told her. She shut her down.
No, she was writing it. That's why she fell down the stairs. She was writing a book.
Oh, man.
And in the book, she said, thank you. You always bring up Comb Over. How is he in every story we do?
Because it's about a book
but
being
anyway,
told on this
in
mess.
the book about Comb Over, his wife that fell down the stairs, she put in there that he didn't even talk to his kids until they went to college and graduated.
She was telling truth on
because
him.
he wanted them to take over the business. She said he didn't throw ball with them
and get a hold of those transcripts and just keep
the
transcripts
are probably flushed down the toilet.
That same.
Remember he was balling up. Remember he was balling up paper and flushing it down the toilet. Big moron. That FBI got all of that. Did he think it would miraculously go away if he balled up paper and threw it down the toilet?
But you know
they went in the sewer system and got all those papers that you balled up, you big moron. You're supposed to burn some papers, not ball it up.
You know what they had? It's so funny. We're on this topic. They had Mark Harmon on the View today, and they were talking about historically before the Watergate incident, there was some people that broke into the FBI office and stole some files and published them.
Thank you.
So, and some reporter put it out there. And it took a while before they found them. I think they finally came forward.
Yeah.
So you're thinking this is not the first time.
Not the first time.
Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah. His wife who fell down the stairs.
Dang, I wanted a tell-all book. But people have tell-all books.
Yeah. Emerald says, I'm so over Jada, and it seems like a lot of people are. Her book isn't doing well. Man, that's what I heard. And she says, Oprah and Gail probably had something back in college. Laugh out loud. We don't know.
You may be on to something, because sometimes you try out stuff.
Right.
And you figure, it ain't going nowhere.
And we got to stop putting these celebrities up on pedestals, making them feel like we know them in real life. We don't know any of these people. No. And even people you know in real life, you don't really know.
That's
to be honest with you. There's people that you work with that got somebody chained up downstairs in a basement.
I hope not. Ooh, that's when you really want a discerning spirit.
Thank you.
Oh my God, show me.
And people went to work with Dahmer. He's bringing sandwiches to work. They don't even know what the sandwich is.
Oh my gosh, it could be. Ooh, you're right.
Dahmer had a lunchbox. He brought every day to work.
And Gacy.
And Gacy was a clown at kids' parties. And he had people in his walls. He killed people, put them in the walls.
In his backyard and everything. Ooh.
And you going over to borrow sugar. Hey, can I borrow some sugar from you?
Hey,
he goes to the cabinet, moves a head to the side, and gives you sugar. You're standing outside at the door, not knowing what's going on in there.
And it could have been your head too.
Thank you.
Oh gosh. So I figured
We don't know.
I'm not saying the guy you're saying wrote the book.
Right.
I'm saying as far as that's what he did is good. I'm just saying he is trying to tell all.
Thank you.
To get money.
Big dummy.
Go ahead.
All right. So that's the end of that. I don't like people like that. Do that.
Yeah. They making money off of you.
All right. So
so you're not talking about what's going